Where the hell is Cyprus? That was my first thought when Kelly suggested visiting Cyprus last December. Now we know that it's a tiny Mediterranean island filled with history, lots of culture, beautiful landscapes, and enough cats. Got real cats out here, yeah.
Life is a winding road, no telling where it goes.
Today is December 28th. We just had breakfast in tiny cafe over here in Police. Today we just changing locations from where we stayed in Latchi. We're heading into Paphos itself.
If I will ever figure out where the road goes.
We had 4 days left in Cyprus, and the plan was to fill each and every day with as much exploring as the off-season would allow us. Renting a car was such a great idea. It really helped us to see as much of the island as possible. Before coming here, we read somewhere that there were sea caves at this beach. And sadly, we learned that the caves were only accessible from the water. And guess what? We ain't had no boat, so that was a fail.
We can't. Yeah. I think this is as close as we can get.
Now, as sunny as it looks here, it was cold as shite. I mean, at least for my Caribbean body, because as you can see, these people on the beach here having a grand old time, wearing much less than I was, and I was freezing.
And I really wanna know.
They actually got bowls up there. Somebody left bowls with water and food. Instead of driving straight to our new apartment, we realized that there was this historical site on the route to Paphos. Hearing the name Tomb of the Kings led me to assume that royalty was buried here. Well, I was in for a surprise.
Yeah.
It's like a little complex, like. Contrary to its name, no kings were actually buried here. Instead, this 4th century necropolis was the final resting place for members of the aristocracy and high-ranking officials. The site was nothing small. I mean, it sat on this huge expanse of arid seaside land. Quite frankly, it could be your final resting place too if you visited here in the summer and forgot to bring water. Also very steep. I found it really amazing that everything was carved from stone and still seems so intact. Some doorways into the tombs were almost 20 feet high, and just being able to get up close and walk beneath the arches, it made the trip so much more surreal. I felt as if I was transported back into time. In 2 weeks of traveling through Cyprus, we hardly saw any tourists until we came to this spot. Good luck for us, we were at the end of checking out the tombs when these tour groups arrived. Beer. Beer. Everybody loves beer. Since we had lots of daylight left, we joined this tour of the Aphrodite's Microbrewery. And after learning so much about beer and everything that was beer related, the next logical thing to do was, obviously,
The IPA.
Thank you then. Bye-bye. So when we first got here, we thought that it was closed, but what we didn't realize is that it's the bar and restaurant is actually tucked inside, and we had a great time. Lots of beer. Now there's a Caribbean restaurant up the hill. I ain't gonna tell you how shocked I was when I learned that there was a Caribbean restaurant just around the corner from the brewery. Yo, without a doubt, I had to go up there and check it out. So I ordered some jerk chicken and rice, which was legit. It was the real deal. The owner was this Bahamian lady and her husband, and it just felt so good to find a taste of home away from home. Got it? We just arrived at spot number 3. Finally, after a long day of exploring tombs and drinking beer and eating jerk chicken, we arrived at the new apartment in Paphos.